G'day everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm just going to be talking about my Denver Nuggets. This is episode 2, just going through my thoughts and feelings on how I've been going. We're actually on a 4-game win streak at the time of this recording. I'm gathering my thoughts a bit after the Dallas Mavericks game. That's the game I'm going to be talking about the most in this video, along with the back-to-back games against the Phoenix Suns. As I said, this is just the day before we versus Miami Heat, but if this video comes out after that, just know that that's when I'm talking from. But yeah, let's get into it. We're doing pretty well at the moment, considering we're on a 4-game win streak. It's good to see Michael Porter Jr. come back, although he only played 20 minutes in the first game against Phoenix, but he's been slowly ramping up. And this game against Dallas, he absolutely lit them up and basically won the game for us. But yeah, before we get into that Dallas Mavericks game, let's go back to the first game against Phoenix, where they did have Devin Booker and everyone playing. And yeah, I feel like we got very lucky to win this game because Phoenix started out on fire. They were hitting basically every single three in the first half. Mikal Bridges just couldn't miss. He had 24 points and 10 boards. It was 6 of 8 from 3, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 6 of 6 at one stage as well. But yeah, they were just tearing us up, and our defense, it's been a problem all year, and it still is. But the greatness of Jokic, MVP Jokic, he has to be in the running. I know people are trying to give it to Embiid, but if he's not going to play back-to-back games and not play as many games as Jokic, I think you have to give Jokic the edge. We just have to win more so we can show that he's an MVP player, because I don't think they're going to do a Westbrook again, where he's like a 6th seed and wins MVP. That's just not going to cut it this season. But yeah, he took 27 shots, Jokic, and only had 1 free throw. They had some weird officials reffing this game, if I do say so myself. I feel like they're not as experienced referees, which was kind of good because I feel like they didn't call as many fouls as you'd normally see, which is good in some ways because you don't want the game to be bogged down. But when there's a superstar like Jokic and he only gets 1 free throw the whole game, you know something's up. And it's not like they weren't defending him tough or anything like that. Like Ayton was giving him trouble, but he only committed 3 fouls. But yeah, Jokic still was absolutely immense, had 30 and 10, nearly a triple-double, although I tend to hate the word triple-double these days in the NBA. It's just, I don't think it's a real value. It's not value, it's valued too high, in my opinion. Triple-double doesn't mean you've had a good game. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, in this game, and basically all the games since we've gone on this win streak, our starters have been a little disappointing, and our bench has been winning us these games or keeping us in it. Like, for instance, in this first game, Monte Morris played 32 minutes off the bench and had a plus 17, best in the whole game out of both teams. Yeah, we got lucky, we got it to send to overtime, and we managed to win in overtime because Phoenix really cooled off in the second half and in OT, and Booker, I think, ended up getting injured late on, and that's why he didn't play the very next night, because we had him in a back-to-back, and there was no Booker, and I felt like we should have won this game easy, and yet we somehow struggled and managed to win in double overtime. This time Jokic didn't play as great, but he put up a 20-20 game. How crazy is that to say? He didn't play as well as he did the day before, but he put up a 20-20 game. This time he did get to the free throw line and had 14 free throws compared to the 1 the game before, and Ayton fouled out in like overtime or in the start of the second overtime, something like that. And then from there, Jokic managed to steal the game because they had Kaminsky on him, I think, and that's just barbecue chicken, as Shaq would say. And Jokic really put his pedal to the metal late in that game. And Jamal Murray had a pretty decent game as well. He still needs to be more aggressive. And Porter Jr. got to play more minutes, and he had a game-high plus 19 in the box score. Because I'm loving our bench at the moment, to be honest. I think JaMychal Green is one of my favourite players already on this team. A great signing, honestly. He is absolutely amazing, and I want to know if they're going to eventually switch out Millsap for Green, or if they're just going to leave Millsap as like a fake starter almost, just to start the game, get him his minutes, and then just play JaMychal Green and Porter Jr. in that forward position. But yeah, Campazzo's been okay. I actually quite like him these days. He's just a little pest on defense. I won't be surprised to see him get into a few scuffles later on in the season. But yeah, let's get to the main game of this video, and that was Denver v Dallas, Jokic v Doncic, battle of the MVP candidates. And this was a really good game. The only sad thing was Jamal Murray got ejected, I think, in the third quarter, it might have been. Yeah, I think it was third quarter. for a nut shot, although in my opinion it wasn't intentional. You guys can disagree. Feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know if I'm crazy, because I have seen some people say no, it was very intentional, and I'm not so sure, to be honest. It looked like to me he used his left arm to grab Tim Hardaway Jr.'s leg to help himself up, and his right arm kind of bumped into it, but he didn't hold a fist or anything. I don't think he went to hit him. Even when he moves the arm up, he's just, I don't know, to me, it didn't look intentional, but he got ejected. Very disappointing, because Jamal Murray was having a great game. He came out aggressive, especially in that first quarter. Took like 5 or 6 shots in the first quarter and already had double figure points. And I feel like we're just a different team when Jamal Murray's aggressive and pushing the tempo and taking his open mid-range shots, even though it's not a great shot in today's NBA, considered by the analytic guys, like taking mid-range shots. It's basically all threes and layups these days, but I would take a Jamal Murray uncontested mid-range any day, because he is money. And Jokic did his thing. Felt like he didn't play as well as he normally does, but it's understandable. We're on a road trip at the moment, and he's been playing, and he's just played an overtime and a double overtime game, so he's probably a bit tired. Well, I do want to get to those. Will Barton and Millsap, they were atrocious, especially Barton in this game. I don't know what it is, but he was absolutely atrocious, especially on offense. You had Jamal Murray cooking, even Gary Harris was knocking down a couple shots, and Will Barton just was trying to get himself on the score sheet so much, and was just forcing it and forcing it. It was 2 of 9, none of 4 from 3-point range. He did contribute in other ways, like rebounding and assisting, and that's what we want to see. I don't want him jacking up shots if he's not on. I'd rather those shots go to Jokic and Murray. And Millsap, well, I don't know, the less minutes for him the better. He only played 19 minutes in this game. JaMychal Green and Michael Porter Jr. played more, and this was definitely the Michael Porter Jr. game. 30 points off the bench, 8 rebounds, even got a couple steals. But yeah, the bench really stepped up in this game, as they have been doing over the past few games. They've really been carrying this team. But yeah, as I said again, the downside was Jamal Murray getting ejected in that third quarter, where Dallas then went on their run, but we managed to neutralize them and come back strong, especially in that fourth quarter, and win the fourth quarter on the road and win a pivotal game. PJ Dozier unfortunately got injured as well. He was having a really good game actually, played 9 minutes, +4 in the box minus, hit 2 of 2 from downtown and 2 of 2 free throws, so he was starting to feel it as well. And as I said before, JaMychal Green, I just love JaMychal Green, a great signing. 17 points off the bench. So him and Porter Jr. combined for nearly 50 points off the bench. And Dallas, well, Doncic did his thing, got a big time triple-double, but I feel like Dallas is a bit just too predictable. All it is give Doncic the ball and then pick and roll, everyone spread out. Like Porzingis is a good player, but he was 6 of 18 tonight. And I think that's just because he doesn't post up, he doesn't get the ball on the block. He catches it out at the 3-point line, and really far out too, takes deep threes, and then if he doesn't take the deep three, he dribbles in for a contested pull-up too. Like, I feel like he should be catching it deeper, maybe a couple post touches, because he doesn't have to be a post player, but just catch the ball deeper, maybe on the elbow, run something through him on the elbow, instead of just having him run pick and pops all day. But yeah, besides that, James Johnson was really good for Dallas off the bench. He scored 16 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown. I honestly couldn't believe it. I was still happy with the defense we were playing, but yeah, it was just unlucky. But if you're going to get beat by Dallas and by James Johnson, so be it. You're going to let him shoot compared to Doncic or like Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., the knockdown shooters that they have. But yeah, overall, it was a great win. And we're on a 4-game win streak at the moment, and we're 10-7 now, so hopefully we keep going up from here. But yeah, I'm not sure what Michael Malone's going to do. Is he going to insert Porter Jr. back into the starting lineup for Barton and have Barton be 6th man? Honestly, wouldn't mind that, because I just want to see Porter Jr. play more, or just do what he does with Millsap, maybe, because like Millsap plays 20 minutes basically, and he starts and plays JaMychal Green more minutes most of the time. So if he does that with MPJ, I'm cool with that. Just play Green and Porter the starter minutes, even if they don't start. Because I feel like the more we play Porter Jr., the more he's going to develop and the better he's going to be. And if we want to be a championship team, I think he's the third guy, or the second guy even, because Jokic and Murray, we've seen what they can do now in the playoffs last season against the Clippers and the Jazz. And if we get that third guy, Porter Jr., to go crazy, because let's face it, he's our best shooter. Like, Jamal Murray's a good shooter, but I feel like Jamal Murray's a great shooter, but the stats say he's a good shooter. But when Porter Jr.'s on, he's on. He's got that high release, that Kevin Durant type release. You can't block it. He just has to get better on his shot selection, and he will be unstoppable. And obviously the defense, but that'll come with time. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments if on the Denver Nuggets or just your team on other teams. Might branch out and go over other teams in future videos, but for now, I'm sticking with my Denver Nuggets. And hopefully we can make it one step further than we did last season. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.